for question 6, 7, 8 on of 13 exercise 13G. We're just basically going to graph each of these on the calculator. So you're just going to be CAS allowed. You're going to try to graph the graphs and plot them or sketch the graph of each of these. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go to my CAS calculator, maths 1. I'm going to use this log button. You want log base 10 of x squared. I'm going to graph this, and we want to graph another one. So I'm going to use a drag and drop feature. I want to graph log base 10 of x for 2 at the front, relation factor of 2 from the x-axis. So what you're going to do is you're going to graph this both. So that graph looks like that, and the other graph looks like this. We're going to adjust our window so it's negative 12 to 12, and see what it looks like. Okay. So as you can see, the first graph is 2 pieces. It's like here and here, and the second graph is only the right half. Okay, so what you're going to draw is the graph. So when we try to work out like the x-intercept, let's see what it is. And also solve x-intercept root. So the roots of that graph will be -1 and 1. All right, and where asymptote is obviously going to be at x equals 0. Your first graph would look something like this. Be 1, -1, and you've got x equals 0 as asymptote. The second graph would be similar. It would just be exactly the same as the right half of the previous graph. You got x equals 0. Now, how do I work out the endpoint? You sub in when x equals 10, because remember the domain's between -10 and 10. When x equals 10, this equals log base 10 of 10 squared, which is 100. Okay, so log base 10 of 100 is just 2. So this will be 10, 2, and this will be 10, -2, because it's symmetrical, basically. And for here, it'll be 10, 2, and you're done. Now, for 7, you can do exactly the same thing. Okay, so for 7, just graph them both on the same axis. Okay, what you can do to clear the graph is just go clear all. Now what you could do, log base 10 of root x, so we have to change this to root x, and the next one's half, 0.5, log base 10 of x, let's graph them together, so we get looks like that, and that looks like that. So it's equivalent basically, okay. Let's see what the intercepts are. Analysis, G-solve, root. Yep, it's at 1. And do we have a y-intercept? I don't think we do. Okay, so there's actually an asymptote there that we can't see. So if we zoom in, we should know that it doesn't touch the axis. Okay, so for that graph, we go like this. It's going to look something like this. It's going to have an intercept at 1 and x equals 0 as an asymptote. And when that equals 10, because we want it between 0 and 10, and it doesn't include 0, as you can see, which makes sense because there's asymptote there. At 10, so make sure it's roughly to scale. At 10, we've got log base 10 of root 10, basically. And that should equal, if I want to simplify that, that equals log base 10 to the half. You can bring the half at the front, so it will equal half. So 10, it will be 10, the endpoint will be, the endpoint will be 10 and a half over here. And we're done, because we've got 2 points. And it's within the domain. Now I'll let you do question 3. You're basically going to plot this both on the same axis. Now, for 8, you just got to be careful to get the x-intercepts. You might need to uh, do this on the main screen. So you might have to go, I'll show you how to do this. On the main screen, you have to literally type in the equation. So you go log base 10 of 2x plus log base 10 of, wrong button, log base 10 of 3x. And you're going to let that equal 0 because you want the y equal 0 and just go interactive events solve. And I will go to decimal. So it's root 6 over 6. So to get the exact value of the intercept, you've got to use the main screen to calculate what the exact value is. So when you do the graph function and you find root, it's not going to give you an exact value. So any exact values you want, you get on the main screen. Okay. So I'm assuming this graph will be uh, the same as this graph. So you should get the same answer, which makes sense because what's 2x multiplied by 3x? It's x squared. It's just applying log laws. So that graph should equal that graph. So hope that helps.